Round 2 of the 1st and 10 tonight is 24 hours ago. We were all about Oklahoma high school football. This Friday night, it's for you, Lone Star State, as it's Week 8 time across the grid. District races are heating up all over the area. I think you know where we're starting, though. Tonight marks the 116th renewal of the Battle of the Axe. Sherman and Denison, Denison and Sherman, whichever way you prefer to say it. The two teams obviously would love to win the Axe, but there's so much more on the line tonight as they're each desperate for a District 10 5A win. Sherman 1-2 in league play, Denison 0-3. A loss for either team will make a shot at playoffs a lot more difficult. Munson Stadium, the site for tonight's game. Here's Denison's Devin Blanton going up for Chance Rogers. Chance football. Check out the celebration here. Not so fast. Jackets up 7-0. More from the Jackets later in the first. Blanton this time finding Steven Wagner. Wagner gets outside and hustles his way into the end zone for another Jacket 6. Mid extra point makes it 14-0 home team. Don't count out the Cats just yet. These kids have confidence, and it's David Bedgood to Holland Bethel. Bethel breaking one tackle, and that would be all he would need as he is off to the races. Bearcats on the board, 6-0 or 6-7 after a missed PAT. They'd make this thing a ball game here. More Bedgood rolling left, finding space eventually, and he catches the sideline, getting all the way into the end zone. It would be a one-point game at 14-13 after the made extra point. Denison, though, would start to pull away later. It's Blanton on the keeper as he somehow slides through and into the end zone. Check out the powder from the student section there. Denison up big in the fourth, 42-13. That's where we find our very own K-10's Jessica Morey, who is live at Munson Stadium with more.
Thank you so much, Chase. Well, what an exciting Battle of the Axe this has been, especially if you're a Denison Yellow Jacket fan. As you can see behind me, these fans are so excited right now. Right now, Denison leads at 42-13 with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Denison has just dominated since the end of the second half. They scored a touchdown to go into the second half, up 28-13, and they have just been dominant ever since. Now leading 41-12, touchdowns from Drew Marr, Steven Wagner, Cody Kraus. Everyone has been getting in on the action here at Munson Stadium. If this score holds right now, 42-13, D-Town will have won the 116th Battle of the Axe. That will make them they will give them their first win in district, making them 1-3 with this win. If it holds on, Denison will have to win the rest of their games on their schedule in hopes of making the playoffs. Even if they do win out, there's a chance they could still not make it. Next up on their schedule, next week they travel to McKinney North and then Wiley East, and then they've got Prosper. So they do have 3 more games they have to win out if they win this game to have a chance of making the playoffs. We'll have more from this game later on in the show. Reporting live from Munson Stadium in the Battle of the Axe, I'm Jessica Morey, K-10 Sports.
Take a deep breath there, Jessica. It's been a minute, Pottsboro. The Cards have been away from the nest the last 4 weeks. We've missed you. Tonight, the Cards, they're soaring off a statement win in Farmersville and hoping to start off 5-3A Division I play 2-0. Callisburg would make the trip to Henderson Memorial Stadium. They lost to Pilot Point last week. Pottsboro on the board first here. They'd work the flats all night long. Here's Zane Pritchett to Miles Mitchison. He breaks one tackle and comes straight into my camera, all the way into the end zone. Extra point makes it 7-0. This time they go to the opposite side. Pritchett to Nate Watson, only one man to beat, and he does. Another touchdown for the Birds, and they'd go up 14-0. Callisburg would make things interesting after an interception, but Pottsboro returning the favor here as the quarterback heaves one up. Zach Lovelady, he gets his second interception of the first half, and that would set up Pottsboro for another shot right before halftime. With just seconds left, it's Pritchett under center, finding who else but Lovelady. He would dodge some tacklers here and get to the near sideline within the 25-yard line, but they wouldn't get anything else before the half. It does not matter. Cards win 42-6. Don't go anywhere because still ahead on tonight's 1st and 10, we'll travel to Leonard, where the S&S Rams and Tigers clash for the first time since last year's state quarterfinals. Plus, the Gunner Tigers picked up a big win in their district opener over how could they stay hot against a much improved Whitewright team.
to 10 on K10.
It's week 2 of district play for our Texas 3As. Lots of action here at home in Division 2's District 5. Gunner, Whitewright, Tom Bean, and Howe all at work. But let's start with S&S, playing the same team that spoiled their 12-0 season and last year's state quarters. The Rams making the trip back to Leonard. That's the same spot they would also wrap up their district title a year ago. Turnover is the name of the game early. Ty Lawler trying to find Drew Dutton. Instead, he finds Brett Schur, and the sophomore DB takes it, and the Tigers take over, looking to roar. Ryan Nixon under center for the home team. This is a big 190-pound junior. Their Hogs give him all day to make a play, and finally, after some pressure, he's picked by Jacob Miller. Great play from S&S's Miller. Big hit there, though, as he goes out of bounds. The Rams later deciding to take it to the ground. Good idea when you have Will Mayer, the big Rams senior. He gets his way through the scrum for a big gain. S&S, though, just no match for Leonard tonight, as Leonard wins 31-6. The Whitewright Tigers hosting the Gunner Tigers at Tiger Stadium. Just trying to say Tigers as many times as I can. Whitewright looking to attack with a wide receiver sweep here. This is Burke Hauser busting up the near side, and that's a good gain for Wes Roten's club. Kendall Shaw, the quarterback, wants some more here, but the Whitewright quarterback won't find it. Cade Meyerdirt grabs him and does not let go. Big loss for the home team, and the Gunner D just white hot all night. We're in the white unis. More pressure here. Jose Betancourt coming up with the ball. The scoring would later come. Gunner cruises tonight with a big 52-0 shutout win. Tom Bean and Howe both 0-1 in district play. This is a pivotal game for their seasons tonight at Bulldog Stadium. The Tomcats driving. Peyton Jones under pressure. He has time to find Daniel Jackson. Jackson slips the tackle, dodges another, and gets a first down, and they would keep it going on the drive. Direct snap to Jackson. Call it Wild Tomcat. He gets into the end zone for the TD. But the Bulldogs come back a-barkin'. Joaquin Lopez getting it to my man Anthony Hawthorne, and Hawthorne gets outside with a huge first down. Just one man to beat. He tries to cut back, and he would get taken down. Felder, though, Dalton Felder, the transfer from Sherman. He gets the edge here, taking the pitch, and he is in with reservations for 6. How about those Bulldogs? 48-12, and the third, our last update. The Bells Panthers have been a pleasant surprise this season. They'd win their district opener for the first time in years. They're looking for 2-0 against Chico. Derek Ponder flings one over to Ethan Stanford. Check out Stanford making the moves all the way up the far sideline before finally being corralled deep in Chico territory. A penalty, though, would bump this back just a little bit, but still Bells set up nicely. This time Ponder, pump fake. Hunter Hawthorne with the grab. He makes a nice move, cutting back inside, picking up several yards for the home team, and that would lead to this. Ponder scrambling around, but finally finding Chris Hall. Hall breaks a tackle, dodges another, and he's into the end zone for 6. Bells, you're up right now, 40-25. When we come back, we're going to throw it back to Thursday night north of the Red River, where several area teams pulled off huge Week 7 upsets. That includes the Ada Cougars, who sent Tuttle packing in a blowout. Football came early in the Sooner State this week as our local teams would play under the Thursday night lights. Last night featured some of the biggest games north of the Red River, including the biggest one, period. Class 5A number 3 Ardmore hosting number 2 Lawton MacArthur. The Ardmore Crazies getting all painted up in the parking lot. It had been 9 years since Ardmore had beaten their rivals to the west. Likely 2 home playoff games and a district title on the line at Noble Stadium. The Tigers, they would score first. Clay Atwood giving to Kedrick Knox. Knox finding his way into the end zone, virtually untouched. Extra point made, makes it 7-0 home team. They'd added that lead later in the first. Atwood to Knox. Knox piling his way through for another score. Kedrick had a big game last night as they're up 14. Highlanders making this game interesting. Will Collins, he's a great quarterback, and he zips one over to Lorenzo West. West goes south all the way down the field for their first score of the game, and they later take a 15-14 lead. Less than a minute left in the half now. It is Atwood, this time giving to O.J. Walker, and the speedster is in for 6. The Tigers pick up the 27-22 upset win. They're now 7-0 and 3 wins away from a perfect regular season.
We need to start thinking about the big picture. You with me?
Yes, sir.
And special seasons are defined by special Psalms of today. So special Mondays and special Tuesdays. Do you really want to go?
Yes, sir.
7 more weeks.
Yes, sir.
Great job. We got a big one next week. I'll see you at 12:45 on Monday. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
Let's eat. Yeah!
Oh man, if that doesn't get you pumped up, I don't know what does. Here's Class 5A's number 10, Shawnee, taking on Durant. Wolves up 7-6. Durant Dito stepping up here in the third quarter. John Jacobs pressured, can't go anywhere. Blake Whittington and Carl Latta there finish him off. Here's Shade Franklin up the middle. He gets a good handful of yards there, but finally a Pride of Lions drags him to the ground. And later, bad snap to Jacobs. Evan Armour there to make the stop, although Shawnee would maintain possession. They wouldn't score on the drive. Durant not getting much going all night long. This is about it. Jacob Bradford up the middle for a good gain, but Shawnee too much. 28-6 the final there. Class 4A's number 3, Ada, hosting number 9, Tuttle, as Ada rides high on a 5-game winning streak. No time wasted at Norris Field. Levi Grimes taking the opening kickoff, and he follows his blocks to perfection, catching the near sideline and getting the Cougs on the board within the first 15 seconds. Grimes finding the seam, he scores. They'd missed the extra point, 6-0 Cougs. Going with some trickery here, Corey Kilby tosses over to Trice Prince. Prince stops and pops, and there's your quarterback, the 6'7" Kilby, getting into the end zone. 2-point conversion good, 14-0. Tuttle would answer with 2 scores of their own. This one coming from Jet Jobe, the senior, pounding in his way in for 6, but Ada, they're just too good this year. A big game from Shiloh Windsor. 3 touchdowns for him, including this one here that we're about to get to. He'd also add 244 yards rushing. 49-29 the win. Here's some 3A action for you. Dixon Comets hosting Lone Grove. Jeremy Turner's boys would start out hot per usual. Garrett Lemons finds who else but Jeremy Lewis. Catch 22, he gets up the sideline, makes a couple stiff arms, gets a big block, gets into the end zone. Same story each week. 7-0 visitors, and more later from the junior back. He would show his strength instead of his style as he busts through for a good gain here, holding on to the football, which is a big deal for a running back. And they'd have be held down to 4th down and 5, and they would decide to go for it. Lemons to Adonis McGee, whoop, and here goes McGee into the end zone. Horns, they're 2-0 in district play, 44-6. Quick look at Kingston down in 2A. The 6-0 Redskins hosting Atoka. Kingston, they haven't been tested yet all season. They're too good. First drive here, it's Cody Flesher on the option play. He gets into the end zone after trucking a Wampus Cats defender. That makes it 7-0. More would come later, this time though from the quarterback, Noah Hodges. Great blocking out front. He sees the end zone and makes sure he gets in, even after the little flip. 14-0, Kingston lead. Atoka moving the ball well. Jalen Harris, he's quite the quarterback. Bombs away for Bobby Johnson. Check out this catch in slow motion. What a grab from him. He looks like he's Des Bryant right there. They later turn it over on downs, though, and Kingston would capitalize. Hodges rolling right, feels the pressure after the pump fake, puts just enough mustard to get this one out to Peyton Hayes, and Hayes is in from 69 yards out. And the Redskins, they're 7-0 on the season with the huge 46-7 win. When we come back, we're heading back south of the Red River to Munson Stadium. We're going to still talk about this year's Battle of the Axe as Jessica Morey still standing out there with a live report. Stay with us. The battle axe hasn't been handed out just yet, but Denison looks like they may be just about to seal it. K-10's Jessica Morey still standing by live, and she's going to give us the latest look out there. Jessica.
Thank you so much, Chase. Well, it has been an exciting night. It still is an exciting night here at Munson Stadium. Right now, the Denison Yellow Jackets lead at 42-20 if they hold on, which it looks like they will. The Denison Yellow Jackets will keep the Axe for the 2nd year in a row, getting the win here at home at Munson Stadium. That would move Denison's record in district to 1-3, meaning they have to win out. They have to beat McKinney North, Prosper, and Wiley East in order to have a shot at making the playoffs in District 10 5A. Again, it looks like Denison's going to hold on here. I think these fans are pretty excited. Aren't we excited? Yes. Even Ron Burgundy is here. Everyone appearance in the Denison student section, as it looks like Denison will hold on for the Battle of the Axe win, 42-20 right now in the fourth. Reporting live at Bunsen Stadium, I'm Jessica Maury, K10 Sports.
That was Ron Burgundy out there. I'm sure he's enjoying the Battle of the Axe. There's been 116 of those. I bet Ron Burgundy's been at all 116. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll keep you updated on that Battle of the Axe game. Take one last look at our FentonFamilyofArdmore.com scoreboard. Good night.